Have you ever just stopped for a second and really thought about the insane amount of work your body is doing right now just to keep you alive? I mean, it's this silent, non-stop, and frankly, kind of magical performance. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a look at the incredible system your body uses to maintain a perfect, delicate balance.
All right, let's kick things off with just one number, 60%. What if I told you that 60% of an adult man's body is, well, just fluid? That's right, the very thing we're made of isn't solid at all. We are, for all intents and purposes, walking, talking oceans. But, that number isn't exactly the same for everyone. It actually changes depending on your body composition. An average adult woman is around 55% fluid. And since fat tissue holds less water than muscle, someone who's obese might be closer to 45%. But here's the thing, the main point is still the same. No matter what our build is, we are all fundamentally water-based creatures. So what is all this fluid anyway? It's really easy to just think of it as water, but it is so much more than that. The best way to really picture it is as this huge, complex, bustling internal ocean. And this ocean, well, that's the environment where all the magic of life actually happens.
And this internal ocean has some seriously important jobs to do. Think of it as your body's ultimate delivery service. It's transporting nutrients and hormones right where they need to go. It's also the sanitation department, carrying away all the metabolic waste. It's the factory floor where cellular metabolism happens. It's the AC unit that regulates our temperature, and it even lubricates our joints so we can move around. It does it all. So, our body fluid is basically this incredibly complex chemical soup. It's chock full of organic stuff like glucose for energy and amino acids for building proteins, and it's also packed with inorganic substances, the electrolytes you're always hearing about, like sodium, potassium, and calcium. Those are absolutely crucial for everything from sending a nerve signal to making a muscle contract.
Now, this internal ocean isn't just one giant sloshing pool. It's actually neatly divided into two totally different worlds. First up, you've got the intracellular fluid, or ICF. That's all the fluid that's inside every single one of your trillions of cells. Then you've got the extracellular fluid, or ECF, which is everything outside the cells. This is the world that bathes our cells, and it's what scientists call our true internal environment.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. These two worlds, they have completely different chemical personalities. The world inside the cell, the ICF, is loaded with potassium and magnesium, but the world outside the cell, the ECF, is mostly sodium and chloride, kind of like a little tiny piece of the ocean. And this difference is no accident. It's a carefully maintained electrical setup that literally powers our nerves and our muscles.
So if you break it down by your total body weight, something like 40% of you is fluid that's locked away inside your cells. The other 20% makes up that outside environment, the ECF. That means a full 2/3 of all the water in your body is intracellular. You are basically a city made of trillions of tiny, self-contained, water-filled homes.
Okay, so we've got this amazingly complex internal ocean with different rooms and unique chemistries. How on earth does the body keep it all from just turning into chaos? Well, that brings us to what might be the single most important concept in all of biology, the Great Balancing Act, which science calls homeostasis.
So here's the official definition for you. Homeostasis is the maintenance of nearly constant conditions in that internal environment, that extracellular fluid we were just talking about. You can think of this as the body's prime directive, its number one most critical mission.
The word itself might sound a little bit academic, but if you look at its Greek roots, it's actually pretty simple. Homeo means similar, and stasis means standing still. So, at its core, homeostasis is all about keeping things staying the same, or really, staying within a super stable, very narrow range. So why is this so unbelievably important? Because every single cell in your body is like a highly specialized, really delicate piece of machinery. It can only survive and do its unique job, whether that's being a brain cell firing a thought or a muscle cell contracting, if the world around it is absolutely perfect. When this balance is kept, we're healthy. When it's lost, well, that's where disease comes in.
Which of course leads to the next big question, what exactly is the body working so hard to keep constant all the time? What's on its master checklist?
I want you to picture the dashboard of a really sophisticated airplane. Your body is constantly looking at and adjusting all these critical dials. Things like the concentration of ions, the levels of oxygen and carbon dioxide in your blood's pH, your blood sugar, your blood pressure, and of course, your body temperature.
every single one of these has to be kept inside an incredibly tight, life-sustaining range, 24/7.
But who's actually doing all this complex work? I mean, who's flying the plane? It's not just one part of you, it's a huge, coordinated team effort. So let's meet the members of the homeostasis team, all the different systems of your body working together for this one common goal. Let's look at how they split up the work. Your circulatory system is like the highway network, moving everything around. The digestive system is the supply chain, bringing in fresh nutrients. The urinary system is the master chemist, constantly tweaking the blood's recipe. And then you've got the two command centers. The nervous system gives you split-second control with electrical signals, while the endocrine system uses hormones for slower, more long-term regulation.
So we know the what and the who, but the how? How does the body actually pull this off? How does it know when something's off balance and exactly what to do to fix it? The answer is this really elegant and beautiful concept: feedback loops.
There are basically two types. The vast majority of control in your body is through what's called negative feedback. It's just like the thermostat in your house. If things get too hot, the system kicks in to cool them down. The response always pushes against or negates the initial change. Then there's positive feedback, which is much rarer. In this case, the response actually amps up the original signal, pushing it even further in the same direction.
Let's walk through a perfect example of negative feedback. Say you stand up too fast and your blood pressure suddenly drops. That's the stimulus. Instantly, these special sensors in your blood vessels called baroreceptors detect that drop. They shoot a message up to the control center in your brain. Your brain processes it and immediately sends out a response, signals telling your heart to beat faster and your blood vessels to tighten up. And the result? Your blood pressure pops right back up to normal, just like that.
So what's the most important point here? It's that your body isn't some static thing. It is in a constant, dynamic state of flux and self-correction. It's a non-stop automatic process of sensing, checking, and adjusting that happens every single moment of your life, whether you're wide awake or fast asleep.
And I'll leave you with this. This incredible balancing act, this homeostasis, is happening trillions of times a day across all of your cells, and you almost never have to give it a single conscious thought. It just works. So what does that silent, relentless, and profoundly intelligent process tell you about the very nature of life itself?